It was a quiet evening in the small village of Meadowbrook. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. Lily stood at the kitchen window, wiping her hands on a towel. She glanced at the clock. It was 7:30 p.m. Her husband, Tom, was supposed to be home an hour ago. He had promised to bring fresh bread from the bakery after finishing work. Lily's heart felt uneasy. Tom was never late. He was a man of his word, always punctual and reliable. She tried to calm herself by thinking he might have gotten caught up at work. But as the minutes turned into hours, her worry deepened. She paced around the living room, her mind racing with possibilities. Had there been an accident? Did something happen on his way home? She picked up her phone and called his number. It rang, but there was no answer. She called again, but still no response. By 10 p.m., Lily couldn't sit still any longer. She grabbed her coat and decided to walk to the bakery. Maybe someone there had seen Tom. The streets were quiet, and the cool night air bit at her cheeks. The village was small, and everyone knew everyone. As she walked, she greeted the few people she passed, but none of them had seen Tom. When she reached the bakery, the lights were off, and the door was locked. Lily's heart sank. She stood there for a moment, unsure of what to do next. Then she decided to visit Tom's workplace, a small carpentry shop near the edge of the village. The shop was dark, and the gates were closed. Lily called out his name, but there was no reply. She felt tears sting her eyes as fear gripped her heart. Where could he be? She headed back home, her steps heavy, and her mind clouded with worry. The next morning, Lily went to the village police station. She explained the situation to Officer Graham, a kind man with gray hair and a gentle voice. "Tom never came home last night," she said, her voice trembling. "It's not like him. Something must be wrong." Officer Graham listened carefully and promised to look into it. He asked Lily for details about Tom's day and any possible places he might have gone. Lily told him everything she knew. The officer assured her they would do their best to find Tom. Days turned into weeks, and there was still no sign of Tom. The village rallied around Lily, offering their support. Her neighbor, Mrs. Wilson, brought her meals, and her childhood friend, Sarah, stayed with her most evenings to keep her company. But no matter how much comfort they tried to give, nothing could fill the emptiness in Lily's heart. Lily spent her days going through old photos and letters from Tom. She replayed their last conversation in her mind over and over again. He had kissed her on the forehead before leaving for work that morning. "I'll see you tonight, love," he had said with a smile. Those words echoed in her mind, a painful reminder of what she had lost. One rainy afternoon, Lily decided to clean out the small storage room in their house. She hoped the activity would distract her, even if just for a little while. As she sorted through boxes, she came across a small, worn notebook. It was Tom's journal. Her hands trembled as she opened it. The pages were filled with his neat handwriting, detailing his thoughts, dreams, and daily experiences. One entry caught her attention. It was dated just a week before he disappeared. "I've been thinking a lot about our future. I want to give Lily the life she deserves. There's an opportunity I've been considering, but it's risky. I need to make sure it's worth it before I tell her. I just hope she'll understand if things don't go as planned." Lily's heart ached as she read the words. What opportunity had Tom been talking about? Had it led to his disappearance? She showed the journal to Officer Graham, who promised to investigate further. Weeks later, the police uncovered new information. Tom had been in contact with a man offering a lucrative carpentry contract in a nearby town. However, it turned out to be a scam. The man had a history of deceiving people and stealing their money. It was possible that Tom had gone to meet him, unaware of the danger. The police searched the nearby town and found a few leads, but no definitive answers. Lily's hope wavered, but she refused to give up. She started visiting the town herself, talking to people and handing out flyers with Tom's picture. "Have you seen this man?" she would ask, her voice filled with desperation. Months passed, and life in Meadowbrook slowly returned to normal for everyone except Lily. She continued her search, holding on to the belief that Tom was out there somewhere. Her love for him gave her strength, even on the hardest days. One crisp autumn morning, Lily received a call from Officer Graham. "Lily, we've found something," he said. Her heart raced as he explained that a man matching Tom's description had been seen in a small village miles away. He seemed disoriented and was asking about Meadowbrook. Lily didn't waste a second. She grabbed her coat and rushed to the address Officer Graham had given her. When she arrived, she saw him. Tom was sitting on a bench outside a small clinic, his face thinner and his eyes tired. But it was him. Tears streamed down her face as she called out his name. He looked up, and when he saw her, his expression softened. "Lily," he whispered, his voice trembling. She ran to him and hugged him tightly. "I thought I'd lost you," she said, her voice breaking. Tom explained what had happened. The scammer had taken his money and left him stranded. He had been too ashamed to come home empty-handed and had spent months trying to earn enough to return. Along the way, he had fallen ill and lost his way, both physically and emotionally. "I'm so sorry, Lily," he said, his voice filled with regret. "I never meant to hurt you." Lily held his face in her hands. "You're home now. That's all that matters." They returned to Meadowbrook together, and the village welcomed Tom back with open arms. Life wasn't easy at first, but they faced every challenge together. Tom found work again, and Lily continued to support him, just as she always had. Through their struggles, their love grew even stronger. They learned the importance of honesty, trust, and never giving up on each other. And every evening, as the sun set over Meadowbrook, they sat together, grateful for the second chance they had been given. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you for